yeah, she's broody. And this is her new cushion spot. We think she's on 5 or 6 eggs. This is one of Tweety's. If you watch our channel, this is Tweety's baby. Remember, Miss Tweety had some birds that we hatched out. She became a mama, y'all. This is one of her babies. So Tweety is going to be a mammal if this all works out. So, hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. We hear you, girl. That's Goldie. She's letting everybody know that her man is eating up all his hay right now, and you best leave him alone. Give me a hug, you. Come here. Give me a hug. How you doing? Give me a hug. I know. Friday afternoon. Don't go spending your paycheck that you got today all in one place. You probably could, though, with the prices of everything. It's not funny. But guys, welcome back to the channel. Busy Friday. We got all that fencing finally done. So there's going to be some clips at the front. And you're going to be like, why am I looking at that? That's that second stretch of fencing that we wanted to fix. And we decided that we weren't going to take it down because the majority of it, even though it might be a little bit contorted, because that's what goats do. Okay, just want to tell you. We won't even talk about what a bull can do or a steer can do. Okay, we're not going to talk about it. So anyway, so what we decided to do is just to reinforce it because they're going to do it again. So we had our friend come over and he helped us and helped James. And long story short, it's all done. It's all caught up. So now we're on to the next project. So here's the deal. So I'm going down to the house. We're making meatloaf for dinner again. Everybody said, can we have meatloaf again? I was like, okay. So Mama's making some meatloaf. So while I'm doing that, I want to talk about this. And I want to get Ivan filmed. Looky here. What? Wait. That's those black cap raspberries that we have growing wild all up and down through here. So hopefully we'll get a good harvest of that this year, right? If you had not ever had those before, honey, they'll beat a blackberry up and down the block. They're so good. So definitely be looking around what's on your property, around your property. Get to know your property in all seasons so that you go, oh, I have this. I recognize it in this phase, but I didn't know it in this phase. Always be paying attention to that. It's always a learning curve too. All right, so let's just get to it real quick because this is on my mind, and James and I have gone back and forth about this subject all day long, just talking about different things with what we're seeing with inflation, the numbers, unemployment. We're having a lot of discussions about this because, like you, we have concerns, right? So I think that's a fair shake to discuss. I think it's something important to discuss right now. And what I really want to do is, first of all, thank you again for all of your kind comments and the input that you are leaving specifically on my channel. The things, because I ask you, I'm like, what do you think? Or what are you doing? And you guys show up and show out every single time because you know the importance of your comment and your input because it is helping so many other people. And I want to throw this out there. Now, I know to a degree I'm speaking to or preaching at, or however you want to call it, preaching to the choir. Well, maybe so. But I think it's something that needs to be reinforced and discussed, and something that needs to be shared amongst yourselves, your friends, and for the person that's watching for the first time, I think you really need to take this to heart. And if you don't believe me, go back to the prior video, the last couple of videos actually, and look in the comment section. You probably don't have the time, I get it, but I do want to tell you where this thought process is coming from. I have noted the increase of comments, and people have been talking like this for a while. This isn't new in terms of, I'm going to warn people, and I'm going to tell people, and I'm going to have discussions, and then there comes a point where I'm just not going to do it anymore. Fair enough, okay? I get you. But here is the next thing that I'm seeing, and I'm not saying there's anything, I'm not speaking against it. I'm just telling you what I am observing, right? People that have been, and these are coming from comments. You're welcome to go look. This conversation is coming from actual comments from you guys. And I think this is a warning for a lot of other people. So you have some comments from different people, very sweet people, and they're saying, listen, for the last 3 to 5 years, I have taken it upon myself to talk to people, to physically help people. Specifically, some of these people are farmers, small homesteads. And we talked about this just the other day. This little niche or genre of individuals, you're not big ag, you know, you're not a hobby, you're beyond a hobby farm, you're beyond a hobby gardener. Like, you can actually put some food away, okay? You've got some skills, you know, you've got more than 2 chickens. You could actually sell eggs like, you know, like us. You could sell meat like we could. You could do things, okay? And this is this area of people that I find very important because they're beyond hobby. They're not sucked into some type of government status quo, but they're the ones that we try to be that most mimics, in my personal opinion, most likely what the majority of Americans were doing 100 years ago. We're trying to be somewhat sustainable. We're trying to be able to, maybe if we sell a little something, make some soap, sell some goat milk, or, you know, sell eggs, or we do some things, it will help cushion us. We can barter. We can do things. Now, everything counts, so don't think that I'm knocking anything, because I'm not. But what I'm saying is if you've listened to my last couple of videos, to me, this is the genre that is most important right now, because these are people that do it enough, have been doing it enough to be self-sustainable. They can help their community to a point at least, and they can teach. Well, here's what's going on now. And you really need to consider this. And I'm not speaking for or against anything, because I get it from all fronts. I understand. That is going, if we continue on the track that we are on with a lot of the things that we are seeing, it's not about whether you're for it or against it. I'm just talking about what I see. What you're seeing is people saying, I've done so much the last 3 to 5 years, and I have a giving heart, and I want to help. And I'm not saying particularly that I won't at some point, but I've seen several people say, I'm not going to plant this much. I'm only going to plant enough for basically my family and a little bit more, and I'm done because I'm in the hole. I've seen individuals comment and talk about how they're having to sell off their livestock, sell off different things simply because they can't make the bills anymore. They can't justify having X amount for whatever reason, whether it's for goods to resell or whether it's to help people for free. They're in the hole. They can't do it. You also have individuals, and this doesn't surprise me at all, and I'm sure it won't surprise you either. You have individuals also that are saying, you know, we have been working our buns off in a very high stress situation, just like everybody else. And we have done our best over the last 3 to 5 years to be debt free as possible, have a pantry. We've been giving stuff away, not selling, giving items away. We've tried to resell animals. Nobody will, you know, even just to get fair market value, people don't want to pay us for our eggs. Maybe that's changed as of, you know, I don't know, last week, but overall people wouldn't pay them for their eggs. They wanted to literally just try to talk them out of their price points if they were, I don't know, selling a dairy goat or whatever. And they said, you know, a lot of times, the last 3 to 5 years, we've taken a personal hit. And so I've ended up giving items away out of the goodness of my heart, which that deserves a big hug. You did the right thing, okay? But I do understand the conversation of it ends now. It has to. Me, my family, our finances are up against the wall. And folks, it's do or die. We have to make a decision. It's that moment of you're on the airplane. Who do you put the oxygen on first? And I'm telling you right now, anybody that's awake is already to the point where they've made this decision because they have to, and those that could kind of limp along a little bit further. I'm not talking about wealthy people. I'm talking about your average middle class, down the road, whatever genre you want to put them in. Average people, average Americans. I'm not even talking globally here. I'm just talking about American citizens. Such giving hearts. And they said, you know, I'm going to have to pick and choose. I can't help all the people that I've been helping. I've given away eggs. I've given away this. I've given away money. I've given away toilet paper. I've given away advice. I've done all the things. And now we're having to go beyond self-sacrificing in order just to keep the lights on here. So this is my warning to people. And it's probably nobody in this audience, but it might be somebody you know. Here's what I'm going to say to you, and I would say this right now, and my kids know this. Everybody has a breaking point. We just talked about this. You know, the other day when I was talking about a Snickers bar or something that maybe you used to do, and you just look at these things, whether it's an activity, whether it's going to a movie, whether it's buying a Snickers bar, whether it's whatever. It could be anything. Think of things that it was just a quick treat or a pleasure or something you would do every now and then or whatever that was in your normal habit routine 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And finally, you've just looked at it and you said, I'm not paying that. Things are different. Things don't taste as good. Things don't look as good. Movies aren't as entertaining. I can, instead of me going and spending $70 to go to a movie today with me and my family or whatever it's going to cost you, even for a matinee. But my point is you go, you know what? We'll just watch. How about I make a pizza tonight and, Susie over there will make some chocolate chip cookies or something. And you know what? We'll watch an old movie for free. We'll just stay home. People are drawing the lines. So if you are an individual, this really should make the hair on everybody's head stand up. And I pray that it does, because this should speak volumes. Everybody always is thinking, not everybody, but a lot of people are always thinking in some capacity that there's always going to be someone else to help them out. A lot of people honestly don't do the things that they should be doing because they think mama's going to bail them out. They think their big brother is going to bail them out. They think they can run back home and do this. And I'm not saying you shouldn't help your friends and family, and I'm not saying you shouldn't live in a multi-generational situation anyway. I'm always prepared for that. Here's what I'm saying. It's not about what the reality is. It's about people allowing themselves to take advantage of the worker bees. And I'm telling you, the winter bees are just about done. Not necessarily because they want to, it's because they have to. They've got to feed their golden retriever too. They've got to make a decision on, are they going to start cutting everybody's hair in the family, or, what are they going to buy that they can afford? A lot of people are now, that maybe we, society, you, whoever, I'm being very generic here. The typical people that everybody always assumed, yep, no matter what happens, I'm always going to get a free meal. No matter what happens, my sister will give me $20 to get gas. No matter what happens, hey, that egg lady down the road, I'm just going to give her $2 for that dozen because, I can do that. I can justify that because she's my neighbor. Whereas you'll go pay $5 at Kroger for those nasty eggs. Okay? I'm just telling you the truth. That makes me mad to know that people take advantage of individuals that are out here and they have no clue how far in the hole they are when you're talking about especially raising any type of even small livestock, chicken coops, trying to grow homegrown tomatoes. I'm like, y'all have no idea how much time and effort a lot of these people end up putting in every year. And because they choose to, it's okay for them to just get $2 for a dozen eggs. Shame on anybody that does that. And I say that every single video, but it's true. So here's my point. That gravy train's coming to an end, baby. I'm telling you right now, I'm just going to be the person that hurts everybody's feelings. I am saying right now, if you are not doing your best, and here's the thing, what you're going to see are individuals picking and choosing their scenarios in which they will give to. Now, I'm not talking about tithing. I'm talking about charitable giving or helping. They're going to pull that back. There's only so much every person can do. If you're a person that has endless funds, God bless you. I hope you pick up a few extras, because those that are just always giving, but now they're at the point where they're like, I'm barely making the house payment. They're going to have to make a choice to literally save their family first. Especially when you talk about mass layoffs, no matter how they're coming. And let me tell you right now, I'm going to say this again and again and again, broken record. Anybody telling you that you're just now looking at possibly going into recession, you ain't that dumb, right? You know that's not the case. I don't care who is actually in office right now. I'm telling you right now, we have been fibbed to, and the numbers have been fudged so hard. And I always go back to the same thing. I'm going to say right now, and you're going to roll your eyes around and around like this. And you're going to say, okay, Patara, we know. Yes, if we compared ourselves in reality to 1928, 1929, where are we actually? You are in a worst case scenario, far worse than anybody back then. Because you know what? If you couldn't get anybody to give you free tomatoes and eggs, 9 times out of 10, you went and just did it yourself, okay? Most people weren't standing around waiting for the neighbor to feed them. Now, the neighbor might be growing something and you might be growing something, and you trade off some honey for X or for some bacon or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this literal attitude of literally putting in no sweat equity to get anything back, because somebody else is always going to be there. You know what? Mama may be doing okay and you've taken advantage of her for a very long time. Well, if we go into a massive deepening recession, I'll be conservative here, and things get really, really hairy, is she always going to have her money? Why aren't you bringing anything to the table? Now, some people have had hard times with health. People have had hard times with job loss. I get that. And I do. I totally admit to you that I agree with that. But here's the thing. What can you do? You better be thinking about it really quick, hardcore. And this is what I'm hammering home with my kids. I'm telling you right now, because they're young men, and I'm like, you better be paying attention. You better be watching. Are you sure? You better be versatile. You better be prepared, and you better be realistic. Because none of this going forth, just like life in general, is going to be what you think it's going to be. And there's going to be a lot of unexpected. So where are you going to be in that unexpected? What can you do to pull yourself out? But folks, I'm telling you right now, go through the comments and read, and these people are not being ugly. They're not being hateful. And it's almost like in some ways, they're apologetic, because they want to help people and they want to do things. And they're having to come to terms, like many of us, me too, of where are we? Realistically, what is happening around us? Every single day, James and I go through, what are the positives of the day? What have we accomplished? Where are we at? What is our budget? What are our goals? Every day, I promise you, at least once, if not twice, I go, what can I do today? What can I accomplish, big or small, today that will push us just a centimeter forward for tomorrow, regardless of what comes? Folks, better be evaluating those situations and looking around really hardcore and thinking about those that have helped you, because a lot of people, this is the whether they should think this way or not is irrelevant. This is the human thought process. People are looking around. I've said this for many, many years. People that are comfortable enough, that have prepared for many years, they have taken mental note of who they've helped, even if they know in their heart and their minds that they shouldn't ever expect anything in return. But then again, see what that does is that justifies to them, at what point can I cut this off? If I've been paying your rent for the last year and I've given you X, Y, and Z, which I love doing, you know what? I feel like I've done my part. So at some point, I've got to start thinking of me. This is a theme you're going to see in all relationships. At what point do I start thinking of me and taking care of me as opposed to giving everything to you? What can you do? What have you returned? What do you bring to the table? Or are you just literally a leech mooching off of me? I'm telling you right now, whether you like this thought process, no matter what you think of it, this is where a lot of people are starting to go. Please don't take advantage of people. That's a no-brainer. But what you really need to recognize is, if you take advantage of these types of people that have been giving it their all, especially over the last 5 to 10 years, to do everything they can to prepare for themselves, their family, close friends, and people that they want to help, and you've been taking advantage of it, oh, they know. And they're watching everything. They know who's preparing. They know who's been giving or giving back. Hey, you gave me $200. I don't have $200 to give back. And I'm still trying to get on my feet. But I get off work tomorrow at 3, and it doesn't get dark till about 7. If I swing by, what can I do to help you? Can I help clean out your chicken coop? Can I help you mow the yard? Is there something that I can lift and take and maybe take to the dump for you? What is something that I can do? Because I recognize your sacrifice for me, and everybody's hurting. Everybody's starting to hurt. And I don't want you to think that I've been taking advantage of you. And I know you're watching. I know you know. I know. We all know what's going on here. But I want you to know that I appreciate you. And I want you to know that I want to give back. So what can I do? So if you're being helped, you might have a skill set that nobody else has. Okay? Think about it. And you can always return the favor. And the thing is a lot of these people, I think it's not even about getting anything back in return. I don't think it's like that for most people. I think it's about just being recognized and being appreciated and not being taken advantage of. But I'm going to tell you, like I said in closing, these people aren't going to allow that much longer. If they're going to allow somebody to take advantage of them, it's probably only going to be very close individuals such as children or grandbabies. And that's not even right. Even that has a breaking point, right? They got to do. You better teach them how to do, or they're not going to make it, especially when you're gone. Believe it. So I'm just saying, let's call it what it is, but people are up against the wall. And it's the same thing. It's like even if necessarily they are not sure if they're up against the wall, they can still get by, they can make their bills and whatever. They're anticipating what they're being told and thinking about these numbers and inflation and wow, did you see the price of meat today at Costco? It used to be $3.99 a pound, and now it's $4.79 a pound. That was just like a year ago. They may be able to pull certain things off, but they're anticipating soon that they may not be able to. So they're trying to hold on. Everybody needs to be a doer and not a taker. Like, subscribe, and share. Pray, prep, and be peaceful. Ivan's being filmed first thing after meatloaf. Or first thing in the morning. It's been a run day, guys. But we got the fencing done and a lot of things going. So we are very pleased with the progress of a few things that we've made this week on our vacation week. And I love you guys. I don't say these things to be hateful. I'm just worried that people are in la-la land, folks. Help who you choose to. Help who you can. If you're being helped, please reciprocate and be thankful and grateful. But folks, realize real quick, people are beyond having to make hard decisions. And it's going to affect every single one of us. It honestly is. And in final closing, pray, prep, and be peaceful. God bless. Love that egg lady, honey. Love her. All right, guys. Have a great night. I'll see you on the next video.